right here.
Wow. So apparently having a small head makes you a Chad, according to Pokey. Exposed, dude. Trump just threatened Iran. What the fuck, dude? I'm trying to do some light. I'm trying to have some fun. We're entering Christmas zone. Our embassy in Baghdad got hit Sunday by several rockets. 3 rockets failed to launch. Guess where they were from? Iran. Now we hear chatter of additional attacks against Americans in Iraq. Some friendly health advice to Iran. If one American is killed, I will hold Iran responsible. Think it over. It's just like regular Trump saber rattling, though. I don't think.
Dinosaurs roam the earth and...
We're not doing more than that. So that's how Trump's going to fund his 2K stim checks. Why do you call yourself a socialist when you spend all day on Twitch? Not very social at all. More streams with friends when? Soon. Okay. Let's see what Cyberdunk's the take was on this game.
The year is 150 million BC. Dinosaurs roam the earth, and Cyberpunk is first announced as a launch title for the Atari 2600. Millions of years elapse as the game is delayed time and time again, until finally, December 10th, 2020, Cyberpunk is released. And the game still isn't finished. Playing Cyberpunk right now is like playing an early alpha version of a game that is years from completion.
That's supposed to happen. That's supposed to happen. That's supposed to happen. He's wrong. He's wrong. It was a cyber tornado in the future. They're very powerful. It's a feature. It's not a bug. It's a feature. Oh, God. Oh, where's my copium? I need an inhalant.
Access. Sony is actually issuing refunds for this game and has taken it down from the PlayStation Store. That is insane. I don't think I've ever seen that happen to a big name release like this. More and more big titles like this are being released in an unfinished state, and it's gotten to the point where gamers are so conditioned to glitches and bugs they don't even notice them anymore. So when I actually hear people that aren't me noticing bugs and glitches, I think, oh shit, this game is fucking broken. That being said, the glitches are very funny. I think a lot of my enjoyment from Cyberpunk actually stemmed from the bugs. I never knew what crazy bullshit would happen next. Everybody just has guns out of nowhere, no matter what they're doing. This dude is stretching with a gun. This dude is lifting dumbbells with the hand he is currently holding a gun with. The hair physics, body animation combined with super detailed environments and lighting. Guns have unique animations. Cars have glossy exteriors and modeled interiors. When Cyberpunk is at its best, it can look very impressive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Cyberpunk is rarely at its best. You can have all the fancy effects in the world, but the second characters start doing this, the illusion is ruined. Even during cutscenes, you aren't safe from bugs. Look at this lady in the background. What is she sitting on? Now she's drinking nothing. This woman was getting a surgery done on her, then I walked into the room and this happened. Once NPCs get spooked by something, they are permanently scared for the rest of the game. Character animations range from super realistic to embarrassingly bad. Every time someone gets in and out of a car, it looks like this. I had one mission where the time of day would just
Okay. Luckily, you guys watched everything. My entire gameplay, all 8,000 of you that sat through the entire process. And like, some of these bugs, I mean, some of these bugs I didn't fucking see at all.
Instantly change back and forth.
And it's not to say the game wasn't buggy at all, but I do think that I was incredibly fucking fortunate.
And then you have all of the performance issues. From what I understand, playing Cyberpunk on a PS4 is like this. Most people getting this game are playing it on a PS4 or Xbox One, so this is unacceptable. I played this on PC and the frame rate was all over the place. I don't have the latest graphics card or processor.
Yikes, he has a 1080? What the fuck? How the fuck does Donkey have a 1080, dude? Yo. Smells like broken here, dude. Smells like fucking broken here, dude. Yo, why don't you get a fucking newer GPU, brother? What the fuck? It's Drama Monday. Oh, big drama. Yo, my man needs this drama, dude. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get back on. I'm trying to get back on Drama Mondays. That's what it is. When I asked him to play with me in the Among Us tournament, I got no response. I got crickets. So I'm just trying my best to get Donkey to notice me again. Okay, I'm starving, dude.
But my computer can usually run just about anything I throw at it at 60 FPS. Cyberpunk would usually sit around 30 to 40 FPS, but when it dipped, those numbers went down.
He mostly doesn't get sponsors because he's actually honest with his review of things. I mean, you're talking to someone who has had one sponsor stream total, and then one time I did a watch party. Like, that's it. So I know.
Big time. If you can get Mario Odyssey running at 60 FPS on a Nintendo Switch, and God of War, Red Dead 2, Last of Us 2 running at a stable frame rate on a base PS4, then there really is no excuse. These are state-of-the-art games, but according to video game marketing, every hyped up game is state-of-the-art, right? Cyberpunk is just straight up a very poorly optimized game right now. Let's talk about driving. The driving is like, it's about that good. I've seen some truly psychotic claims that the driving in this is on par with Grand Theft Auto 5. The people saying this should seek medical attention because...
Dude, yeah, what the fuck? No, more like GTA 4, but worse. Like, they're so heavy. The cars are so heavy, so clunky. It's dog shit. Running at 4K 60 FPS with DLSS on a fucking 2060.
Something has happened to their brains. Your car will come to a complete stop from hitting a tiny curb and then also ram through a boulder. And
that's true. That is really annoying. Remember in the races where, like, you see that right there? You see that little thing right there? Normally, what happens? What happens when a car in every other video game hits that? It fucking bounces off of it, or it like breaks a part of the car and you keep going. In Cyberpunk, full stop. You literally hit that, full stop. Car literally stops. Like that.
A car like nothing. But I mean, still better than Death Stranding driving. Cyberpunk is set in a truly dystopic vision of the future where OnlyFans became a larger company than Amazon. Night City is full of stunning architecture, neon lights, vending machines, obnoxious ads, and a disproportionate amount of strip clubs and sex shops. It would have been cool to see what a futuristic zoo looks like, or a stadium, or a museum, or, you know, anything other than a store called PP. Then there's the combat.
Of course, dude, listen. That's awesome. I've never seen that, but that's hilarious. Listen. Of course, the king of like exploits and glitches was going to literally find the chef's kiss of glitches in this game. Like, of course he was going to find the best glitches. I mean, this is a little exaggerated. Unless he was playing on a PlayStation 4. Lol, just kidding. You literally can't play on a PlayStation 4. It's unplayable.
The wonky gameplay nearly collapses under the frame rate drops and bugs. Mostly my dude would just walk around one-shotting everyone with a shotgun while sucking down inhaler juice. Enemies don't understand how to respond to you going past their cover spot. The hand-to-hand...
This is true. It would either... Dude, the AI for combat was either incredible or literally just the worst. They would just stand in place. It was either like they are a fucking Nicaraguan death squad swarming you and like fucking immediately flanking you and just ripping you apart, or they were just like, oh, I guess it's a fight time now. I guess it's a fight sequence, but I'm just gonna sit down right here. The bosses at Booty AI, true. Oh yeah. Oh, it was terrible. The bosses had terrible AI.
Combat is possibly the worst ever in a video game.
I just read you bought your editor's PC so they could work easier, and I think that's really kind of you. I can't tell if you're joking or not. People use that against me as a talking point, like, nah, stop. They say, like, you're a piece of shit for doing that. Oh, okay. Well, I did do that, but add time after this, yeah.
Every time you die, it's to a landmine that one-shots you. The combat music never stops blaring over everything, even after everyone has been dead for 2 hours. One time it even started playing the same song twice, overlapping itself. You'll shoot an enemy and they'll just get stuck on the terrain. This happened to me like 20 times.
I'm right here. Come on!
This dude tried to spawn in an elevator.
Oh
but
yeah!
failed
Remember when I killed him? Wait, did he just one-tap him? What the fuck?
miserably. Some enemies can... This dude tried to spawn
Yeah, remember when I exploited this?
in an elevator but failed miserably. Some enemies can do this, and I think that's the game functioning as intended. There are stealth options and watchdogs hacking to keep things fresh, but sometimes enemies will spot you through a wall or object because they feel like it. It's all so blatantly
True.
broken, but I mean, you know, still better than Death Stranding.
I like driving through here. It's nice.
You know what? You're right. It is nice out here.
Never been out this way?
No, I have. Just never noticed. Never had time to just sit down and watch. City slipped through my...
Then we got the story, which is the strongest element of the game, but also the part of the game that can't be patched or fixed. Even though you have a strong premise here, the story itself is very plot driven. A lot of the dialogue is, we're gonna go here, we're gonna hack this computer, we're gonna talk to this guy, and this is how the microchip works, and this is how brain dances work, and this is how you write a program. CD Projekt Red, and I want this guy to hear this too. Nobody gives a rat's fucking ass about the minute details of fictional technology. That should not be the focal point of dialogue in your game. That should be information found like in a log file that's hidden under a bed somewhere. The story can also feel very disjointed.
Okay, that part I disagree with. I think the deep lore is the only thing that fucking carries this game. So far, everything I've agreed with, except for this part. Like, this game would be a fucking 3 without the massive amount of lore that they were able to incorporate. Like, it's literally the only thing that carries the game. I said this after I finished it. It is brilliantly immersive. It's not even the fucking game that is good. It's literally like the universe that it is built on top of. Doesn't like lore and info in an open world RPG Omega lol. Without Pan Am, the game would be a 3. Okay, I'm not gonna. That's not lore. It's useless info dumping. Damn, always this. Donkey always has trash takes, but at least he's funny. I don't think Donkey is trash take. Donkey is a gameplay first kind of guy. You casuals wouldn't understand. Did he even play this game all the way through? The text is super important to the plot, especially ending.
Pointed at times. I picked the corpo path where you are a career worker who gets wrapped up in some disturbing corporate espionage. Then some dude snatches your microchip, so you have to quit your job immediately despite being so
He's right. This is true.
involved in this insidious plot, and then you instantly become a low-level gangster in a montage, and then one of your first missions as the low-level gangster is to steal a super secret microchip from the most powerful man in the world.
This is 100% true. The fact that, again, I literally found one of the codec things earlier talking about how different religions care about implant usage. I think that they should have absolutely made you do way more with your different life paths. Like, you should have seen what the world is like as a corpo. You should have seen what the world is like as a fucking street kid. And you should have seen what the world is like with a nomad that actually changed the outcome of the game, which it didn't. As you know, it literally did not. So decisions matter, by the way, was bullshit. Replayability out the fucking window. Like, the replayability is like literally the first 3 hours of the fucking game like change dramatically, and then everything else is the fucking same. But what they should have done, and 95% of the decisions don't matter. Not even like 3 hours more, like 1 hour more. Yeah, exactly. Like, the origin choices should have, like, you should have been fucking Joy Toys in your fucking penthouse if you're corpo. You know what I mean? Like, you should have been fucking Joy Toys or penthouse on your corpo, going on like corpo missions. It literally drops you in the middle of this fucking planet. Just a tsunami of information. You're like, what the fuck is going on? I'm corpo? Okay, this is cool. I don't know. And then boom, just kidding. You're not corpo anymore. you know, we're back to the regular like underdog coming back and like becoming whatever, like, you know, becoming the real hero story. Like, that's bullshit. The lore of the game is everything here. The universe is everything. And they did a very good job of building a fucking game, not even a functional one, but just making a game out of an incredible universe. Okay? They did a really good job of making a game, just a game that you can sometimes play, not always, on a brilliant fucking universe. It's like the way I feel about Star Wars. I don't like the movies, but I love the universe that Star Wars exists in, which is why I think Knights of the Old Republic is my favorite quest line out of any like Star Wars franchise. I don't like the original Star Wars shit because I think that's mid. I think it's like a classic fucking, it's the same story that you know, the hero's journey or whatever the fuck all the time, but the universe is fucking rich. It's so dense. And the same goes for this. The universe is incredibly rich. The universe is incredibly dense. And this is a game, just like I guess Witcher was. I never read the books or anything like that, but The Witcher dropped you into a beautiful, wonderful universe that's super fucking dense. And I think they do a good job of like taking books and taking these like dense source material and turning it into a video game. So they did that with Cyberpunk as well. I wish they would have been able to, you know, explore it more with the different life paths. That was absolutely a problem. That was absolutely, without a fucking doubt, a gigantic issue for me at least.
On top of that, a dozen different characters are constantly calling you and giving you side missions at the same time you are currently pursuing a side mission from 10 phone calls ago that you forgot the entire premise of now.
Hey, it's Rachel.
Attention all NCPD subclass. Suspected organized crime activity reported about some construction.
All of the most powerful moments of Cyberpunk happen when you can finally shut out the white noise and the barrage of bullshit information and actually focus on what's happening in front of you. But another thing that worries me about this game is how many of these great moments will players miss, and how many did I miss? The minimap makes almost no distinction between the higher quality narrative driven side quest and the Ubisoft tier copy and paste filler. I wouldn't be surprised if most people ended up completely missing out on my favorite quest line in the game about the sentient soda machine, because
if I wasn't obsessively playing every fucking game, I you know this, I already finished, I logged in like around, I think 60 by the end of that one fucking week. And if I had not like literally gone back after finishing the game and done all the fucking side missions, I would have never played Brendan, the sentient soda machine, which was awesome, which turns out is not even a sentient soda machine.
Tucked away in a little corner. Likewise, the ending that I got, which was in my opinion the most satisfying one in the game, Steam says only 1% of people actually got that ending. I realize this is a very negative...
Wait, which fucking ending did he get? Was that the Johnny ending? No. Spoilers? Yeah, of course there's spoilers, dude. It's a fucking Cyberdunk review of Cyberpunk. Shut up.
In critical video, but I actually did enjoy this game. Cyberpunk 2077 is carried by actors and animators, and it's refreshing to absorb those details in first person. I went into this thinking Keanu Reeves would be in here for like an hour, but no, he is one of the main characters, and it makes the game that much better. Jackie, Skippy, Evelyn, Flaming Crotchman, Victor, Brendan, Judy, Pan Am, Rick Ross, Delamain, Goro, Hideo...
Side characters are literally like, they are built better than fucking Silverhand. The side characters were massive carriers, dude. They were written well. They were cool as fuck. It was great. I think Keanu Reeves wasn't exactly great. He had really great moments, but...
Kojima, and of course Johnny Silverhand. These characters have more personality and soul than anyone from these games, and for that reason I'd say this is one of the better open world games I've played. I would put it right about here. So yeah, that's what I think about Cyberpunk.
Wait, what the fuck? What is this? What is the rest of
Rick
this?
Ross, Delamain, Goro, Hideo
Kojima did not play a big role. That's a joke. He's
Kojima,
saying that
and
as a
of course-
joke. Kojima was a random character that you found.
Johnny Silverhand. These characters have more personality and soul than anyone from these games. And for that reason,
Zelda is S tier. Red Dead is A tier. GTA 5 is like A, B. Spider-Man is B. This isn't like a terribly wonky. I like this rating system. I mean, I would put Ghost higher, but probably still lower than Spider-Man. I can't speak for Far Cry 5. I never played it. Death Stranding. I don't know where I put Death Stranding, if we're being honest.
Playbot.
I mean, he's like a huge Nintendo simp, right? That's why he's like loves everything that Nintendo makes. I hate how main character was just a bland asshole many times. Yeah, I think you're a blank slate. I think a main character, for the most part, is not really like anything. He's not really anything. Your choices don't determine if you become an asshole, really. Your choices don't really determine even your fucking relationship with Johnny. Like, it doesn't change all that much. But I felt like the main character had no backstory. Yeah. You should probably play Breath of the Wild to see what he's talking about. I think inevitably I will. I have it. Thanks to Ultra PG, I got a new Nintendo. Feel like it's cooler when you play as a girl. Felt more badass. V stands for variable. Your choices don't determine anything in the game. Yeah, look. I'm telling you, you can't... I am never not going to simp for something that made me as obsessed with this like medium or this form of art or whatever, the fucking video game. Like, it made me consume it like crazy. So of course I am incredibly fucking biased towards it, because not many things do that, right? And that's why I gave Cyberpunk the rating I gave it. Play Breath of the Wild on PC. It runs, looks so much better. Wait, you can play Breath of the Wild on PC? You can't do that. What the fuck? Dolphin emulator? Yeah, I'm not going to use an emulator, dude. What the fuck? First of all, Nintendo is the one company you don't fuck around with like emulators and shit. Are you kidding me? They will abso-fucking-lutely DMCA me. Are you out of your mind, dude? I would never do that in a million fucking years. When I stopped trying to roleplay my decisions and started thinking like the character of V, I started having more fun. Cyberpunk is easy to hate and easy to love. Tell chat to pick their poison. Play Control. It has an incredible world / atmosphere. No, I don't want to do that.
I'd say this is one of the better open world games I've played. I would put it right about here. So yeah, that's what I think about Cyberpunk. Oh shit, I forgot about Minecraft Saturday.
Hassan could even start an emulator, let alone run it properly. Propeller.
Would I be able to play Breath of the Wild if I'm unfamiliar with like Zelda lore though? Like, don't know anything about it?
It's been a blast, Hassan. Your stream is great.
Like,
you're doing well, Hassan.
It's good at like introductory, you like complete fucking new shit. You don't need to know anything. Okay, good. What about Final Fantasy VII? Because I did play a little bit of Final Fantasy VII earlier this morning. Yeah, just to test it out, just to see what the combat looked like. I'm gonna give the gaming frogs everything they've ever wanted. Do you understand? Skip Breath of the Wild and just spend 2K on Genshin Impact. Zelda and Final Fantasy are all standalone, basically. Oh, okay. This is you at 18. Video currently unavailable. I don't know what that is. Most people that play Zelda have no idea what the lore is. Okay, good. It doesn't matter. There is one game that we are going to be playing today. That game is part bug and part snack. Not yet, but later.
colon.
Watch Salmonella. The lot win Final Fantasy VII is great. The lore, you mean, and the game standalone, so go for it.
Happy 3 months hassle.
Trump decides to be a populist, and now you decide to be one too. Whatever, just give us games, please. The facts do not lie, sir. Yeah, I know. Look. Wait, what is this? React playlist. Azam, Puggo, React. Azen. Puggo. React. Puggo. Azen. Puggo. The PlayStation 2 edition of the Playboy Mansion game. Have you played Witcher 3 DLCs? Game will have high-res patch in some time. No, I don't have that. We got the Dream cheating one too. 2.5 million views. It came out earlier today. Dude, am I gonna be able to watch this if I don't understand anything about fucking Minecraft though? Like,
probability. Probability is the measurement of how likely something is to happen. Recently,
oh, dude, you lost already. Okay, listen. When you start with that fucking the dictionary definition of love type fucking beat, it's over. You've lost. What is this fucking? Did you take a course on public speaking or something? What the fuck is this? It's so fucking boring. It's not worth. No joke. I'm a Minecraft nerd and thought it was boring as F. Yo, fucking SAT, essay writing Andy, dude, over here. Probability is the... Okay, bro.
one of my speedruns that I did on Twitch has been analyzed by the speedrun.com volunteer mod team and deemed as improbable to a degree that is nearly impossible. So lucky, in fact, that they came to the mathematical conclusion that it had 1 in 7.5 trillion odds of happening. So they put out a video and a long document talking about it, and this is my response.
Wow. Poggers! Poggers, poggers, poggers! Dream is back! Poggies! Is Minecraft like... Minecraft fans are way wilder than the Fortnite fans, though. Quotes from practicing astrophysicists, speedrun moderators, Minecraft developer. References, new independent expert report, MCSRT report, Geosquare's video.
Now, I'm not sure if you realize how big of a number that is, but that is basically impossible. You have better odds of winning the lottery 3 times in a row. So ever since this math was done, I've had people spamming me, calling me a cheater, and insisting that there's nothing I can possibly say or do to refute the fact that I cheated. Now, every speedrun that I've ever uploaded on my YouTube channel is still verified and still on the leaderboards, including a 6th place run in 1.15, but the run that I did on my Twitch on 1.16 is no longer on it. Now, I plan on going over in detail each of these points later, but I want to summarize some misconceptions right at the beginning. 1, the only speedrun that was unverified was a 5th place run that I did on a stream a couple months ago, and all of the world record videos that I posted are still verified. One of the mods said, quote, "We have no reason to believe that any of the 1.15 runs are cheated." 2, the odds are wrong. I hired a professional statistician with a PhD that is...
Yeah, but I thought that, like, wait, yeah, no shit. Even I know the difference between 1.15 and 1.16 is the probability element, which is literally what they were fucking talking about, right? Wait. Did he just say he hired someone? What the fuck? Okay. Probability doesn't mean shit. Wait, as an actual astrophysicist, you should not trust us with statistics. Wait, hold on. 2 things. Finish the video so you can cash in on the drama views from YouTube. Wait, there's a prediction going on? Okay, I don't want to look at it. Some STEM lord debunked this in Reddit. The astrophysicist isn't even real, by the way. He didn't. Okay, first things first, okay? For those of you who are freaking out, Hassan, why are you watching this? It's because it's big drama, okay? It's big drama, which means big cash money. Just kidding. I don't really give a fuck. I am a little interested in it because, like, I want to see how fucking nerdy this shit gets. It is remarkable. I've played Minecraft 2 times, as you guys know, and I died to a lava incident, and I also died when one of the, what's the goblin or creeper or whatever, the black characters that fucking, the end game characters, they, like, teleport. Enderman. Yeah, Enderman. they blew me up, and it was terrible and terrifying, and I haven't really played it since. So I'm watching this because I want to know, like, I want to know how crazy these people can get over a game like this.
Is an active astrophysicist to write an analysis, and I'll be going over parts of that analysis today. 3, I did not delete any evidence, and I was doing everything I was asked to by the mods, and I actually have one of the mods on later to come and confirm that. And 4, not all of my 1.16 live streams were used for the data. Only the 6 luckiest ones were. I had 5 other streams before those streams I did on 1.16, but they had below average luck and were not included in their analysis. I had the expert include these streams in a much smaller, separate analysis, which concluded that with these 11 streams included, the data shows, quote, no statistically significant evidence that Dream was modifying the probabilities. So now that we got the misconception,
he's saying the guy he hired with a title that is like low-key kind of irrelevant in this circumstance cleared him of any wrongdoing. I mean, this is some real corporate PR shit right here, brother. That's
exceptions out of the way, which I will go over later. The math. I'm not that good at math, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this may not be either, so I found somebody who is amazing at math and specializes in probability to help get to the bottom of it. Bill Nye, the science guy. Yes, you heard me right. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. A professor with a PhD that graduated from Harvard. That's actually a practicing astrophysicist that is an expert in statistics and astrostatistics. After reaching out to this expert, he insisted that if he was going to do this analysis, that I must agree to release his findings regardless of if they made me look good or they made me look bad. Knowing that I'm innocent, I agreed. The mod team is a group of respectable people, but they're also young and a group of volunteers, so it's hard to fault them for—
Bro, this is hella Trumpian, dude. It's like when Trump had that fucking Harvard guy come on and he's like, not like, come on, he's from Harvard. Listen to him. Listen to him. Listen to what he has to say. He's from Harvard, folks. Believe me, he's from Harvard. What are you going to go against the Harvard? Hey! No collusion.
Mistakes when compared to a full-time professional with a specific expertise in a field like this. After extensive research into the mod's math and the logic and reasoning.
Okay, I'm sorry, but like, you know, Dream right now as it stands, and I don't really fucking know anything about Minecraft, so I'm going to qualify this again, but as it stands, is one of the most popular individuals on the internet versus one random astrophysicist guy. Like, if his findings were not up to Dream's expectations, what fucking, like, what clout does that dude have to ever get his word across? Like, no. Like, no one knows who the fuck this dude is. And he got hired to do this. It's already sus to begin with. And lastly, there's no fucking way that he would ever be able to, oh, yeah, like, please release these findings no matter what. Like, my integrity will be, you know, questioned if I don't do this.
Behind this math, the expert found that the math was off. In the description of this video, there's a link to a 19-page report written by this expert that is extremely detailed into exactly what they got wrong and why. I won't be going over it entirely in this video, but for the people more interested in the math, it's linked in the description. I will be going over what I think are the most important parts though. First of all, the math was off by at least 7.4998 trillion. And the original number was 7.5 trillion. And like I mentioned earlier, this is a huge number. So it's also a huge number to be off by. On the screen right now is a representation of how far they were off by. Again, I'm sure the mods did their best.
Wait, what? Wait. Did I miss
this? Is a huge number. So it's
998
trillion.
Wait, he's saying that they were off by... Okay, they're off by a huge number, but like... But the ultimate number is still fucking... Wait.
And the original number was 7.5 trillion. And like I mentioned earlier, this is a huge number. So it's also a huge number to be off by. On the screen right now is a representation of how far they were off by. Again, I'm sure the mods did their best, but when talking about...
Okay, this is like any stat nerd in here will tell you that visualization of statistics can be incredibly fucking misleading, and that you can make numbers work. One, you can massage numbers in any way you want to, and two, like, showcasing disparities like this is ridiculous. It's like doing the difference in wealth between I don't know, difference in wealth between like fucking Elon Musk and myself is not that big of a deal in comparison to fucking Jeff Bezos or something, to absolve Elon Musk of being like a mega billionaire. You know what I mean?
About someone's character and their image, making mistakes as big as this can be really damaging. After coming to an estimate of a new probability, the expert said this, quote, even in the worst case, the probabilities are not so extreme as to rule out any chance that Dream used the unmodified probabilities. The expert also said, quote, if you ask, what is the probability that anyone playing Minecraft has luck as good as Dream did during these 11 streams, then the odds are very high. Dream's luck can be described not in terms of unusual success in the game, but that out of all of the Minecraft players, it was him who got this lucky, and he got this lucky while live streaming. But remember, this could not be counted against him, because he was investigated precisely because he got very lucky. I actually ran a survey where I gave 100 random people 2 options on what the number they talked about meant. Option 1, the odds of a top 1000 speedrunner on video or stream getting the luck that I got, or option 2, the odds of anyone doing piglin trades in Minecraft getting the luck that I got. Every single person out of the 100 said option 2. They, and probably you watching this based on the survey, figured that the mods presented the odds of this happening to anyone while trading with piglins. They didn't think that this was the odds of this happening to someone while speedrunning, being a top 1000 speedrunner on stream or video. As a good example, pick a number between 1 and 10. Go ahead, right?
Wait, what? That doesn't... What? Again, anyone who thinks that this is like a gigantic difference in the outcome of their analysis is... Wait, it is being ridiculous. Like, one, he still had an insane fucking stroke of luck, even in his own vindication. This is supposed to be like saving him, right? And secondly, he's trying to say, oh, well, actually, they made it seem like it was across the board, but it was actually analysis on... It was actually analysis on, like, speedrunners. Like, their control was speedrunners overall, right? Not... Okay, let's just
right now,
keep going.
pause,
There's a lot.
pick a number between 1 and 10. You had a 10% chance of picking the number 7 just then. Now, out of the millions of people watching this, there's probably quite a lot of you that picked that number. But there may only be a few thousand that are recording, but also picked the number 7. And there may even be fewer of you that were doing a reaction to this or were live and also picked the number 7. That doesn't change the odds of you picking the number 7. It's still about 10%, but the odds of you being live and picking the number 7, now we're talking about 0.0001% or somewhere around there. Now, you can see why it might be misleading to say streamer had 0.0001% of getting this lucky, even though it's technically true. But it doesn't change the fact that you had a 10% chance of getting that number regardless of if you were streaming or not. In the words of the professor that wrote the document, quote, extremely low probability events happen at random all the time. If you consider, for example, every Minecraft player, then a perfect run, 2 out of 2 Ender Pearl trades and 7 out of 7 Blaze Rod drops, probably occurs multiple times an hour. Considering all Minecraft worlds ever played and the multitude of ways in which luck plays a role, even 1 in a trillion events happen daily. But that's not even getting into their actual math, that's just about how they presented it. The first thing that's wrong is that they did not correctly account for trade stopping. Basically, when you trade with a piglin, you trade until you reach enough Ender Pearls to then leave and go to the stronghold. When you get enough Ender Pearls, you immediately stop trading and leave other uncompleted trades. This is a quote from the expert's report. Quote, if the last barter in a sequence is always an Ender Pearl, because then the speedrunner leaves, then it simply cannot be claimed that all barters are fully independent and identical. Without identical independent barters, the binomial model is inappropriate. In order to prove that the trade stopping was important, the expert ran a simulation over 1 million times.
Wait, so he's saying... Wait. Am I confused? Did the original data track the chances that he would have that barter outcome against speedrunners, against like the average chance that like speedrunners would have, versus now he's saying we need to look at it across the board, across like every single time every single person has ever fucking played the game? They accounted for this, but he's just a Republican. It'd be kind of cool if you watched the video and then gave your opinion. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Shut the fuck up. Yes, it was to other runners. He's saying they were testing probability against his luck. Yeah, he's saying they were testing probability of his luck against the wrong distribution, and that they were supposed to be testing it against every single person, every single time that any single person has ever played Minecraft.
That shows that his model is far more accurate to how trading actually works than the model used in the report. Quote, the barter stopping simulation does indeed show that there are fewer barters required to get the desired number of ender pearls if you end immediately after an ender pearl barter. It also helps explain why charts showing Dream's bartering outcomes seem unbalanced with respect to ender pearls. They don't account for the fact that ender pearls are special because they are the goal of bartering. Accounting for this problem makes the odds extremely more likely. The expert says that, quote, this model has objectively a higher fidelity and thus a more accurate estimate of Dream's odds. However, another thing that's been used against me is that when comparing this lucky streak to Illumina or another popular runner, my streak of runs looks much luckier than, say, a streak of lucky runs they had. Again, here's another quote from the document from the expert. Quote, the low probability of Dream's runs and that Dream performed much better than other speedrunners should not be considered as independent pieces of evidence. They both indicate the same thing. Any lucky speedrunner chosen because they look lucky will look lucky when compared to other speedrunners. Not to mention that a lot of
Wait, but they literally accounted for that. Why is he admitting that they accounted for that? Wait, what the fuck? I look, I'm not a super smart person, okay? And I know that there's probably some Dream Simps in here who are gonna get mad and say like, what the fuck you, like, this is this entire thing so far reeks of look, I'm not a very smart guy. I'm not a stats nerd at all. I'm not a STEM guy. I hate math and I hate numbers and I hate all this stuff. But it literally feels like I'm a kind of guy who knows what counter propaganda and propaganda looks like. This is propaganda. Like, it's basically it looks like something that you do where you're pretty much still admitting guilt, but you're doing it in a way where you're trying to smear the original work that said like you were incredibly and super duper fucking lucky by saying, yeah, I was super duper lucky, but you know, you missed that luck by one duper, and it's basically just for other people in your community to defend you. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't for convincing people. This is more so to convince those who are in your fan base who are going to defend you already. Now they have arrows in their quiver. You know what I mean? Maybe the math checks out, but his explanation is dog shit. Physics, not Astro PhD.
Speedrunners run constantly offline, including a lot of the top 5 times. And these runs are verified, despite not being able to look into their RNG at all. Another thing that the mods got wrong were a few of the bias corrections. The mods claim that they biased everything in my favor and that the number they came up with was the lowest possible probability in my favor. One thing that they mentioned in their investigation is that they came up with the number 10 for the number of potential targets for a cheater to change. They also said that this was a generous exaggeration as they could only think of a few. This confused me, so I asked them for a list. When I asked for the list of the 10 that they were referring to, they were unable to provide one, and they inferred that it was arbitrarily chosen. So I decided to come up with a list myself of all the possible targets that a cheater would try and cheat in speedrunning that have similar importance to blaze rods. I was able to come up with a detailed list of 37 different RNG targets that I believed were very comparable to blaze rods. I shared this list with a few speedrunning experts, including Illumina and Benix, and they seemed to agree that the 37 I listed were fair, and incredibly more accurate than the random number 10 that there was before. This was actually—
Wait, what the fuck? So he's just looking— so instead of analyzing the data that they already had, he's like, here's a random set of speedruns that I found on my own with additional speedruns on top of that, and our analysis is going to be conducted off of this instead of the analysis of the other one. That's not how you disprove something. Did I misunderstand that? What the fuck? He kind of never says he didn't mod the game. Why are you guys saying, no, he's refining the variables?
a recurring theme throughout the document. They would say a number and claim that the number was the most favorable number possible for me, and then use it in calculations, and then when me, other runners, or the expert would look into it, it would turn out that the number that they claimed was the best possible number in my favor was so far from it that it usually was actually the worst possible number against me. Another example of this is that they claimed that the formula they used would find the lowest possible odds in my favor, but the expert tested their formula on their own example of coin flips and found that their lower bound, or what they claimed to be the lowest possible odds in my favor, were actually twice twice as high as the actual odds of a coin flip streak, meaning the formula they used was extremely flawed against me, and it only gets more flawed when talking about lower probabilities. In the report, the expert says, quote, "The claim that the p-values given in the MST report are as favorable as possible is not supported by our investigation. The biggest problem that I have with this is that the way that the mods document was written and presented in the video made me look as guilty as possible, while also putting into the watcher's mind."
Again, how is this any different than his tweet? This is basically just saying like, no, they were super biased in their, in the way that they sampled it. They were super biased in their analyses, and it was all against me. And he's like, he's saying, here's my set of facts versus the set of facts that they put forward. And because my set of facts are different, still incredibly lucky, but different than the set of facts that they have, that means that they were wrong and I'm right. Instead of disproving the actual like set of facts they put forward. I don't know, I might be misunderstanding it, but imagine they put this effort towards something that mattered. Yeah, that would be great. These speedrun mods going to make sure he doesn't get another speedrun record. I feel like I don't have enough brain cells to comprehend what he's saying. Let's keep going.
Mind that not only are these numbers right, but they are the best possible scenario for me. Even the numbers that the expert came up with are not the best possible scenario for me.
This is literally the meme, like nitpicking and biased. Haha, I win. Like, what the fuck?
Are already way less than what the mods put. Obviously, the way that they phrased it makes me look really guilty, and it was something that they didn't even need to do because the numbers looked bad already. One thing that he says at the beginning that I think is notable in his report is that he says, quote, "Probability calculations are hard. There may not be one right way to do something. It is easy to violate some hidden or unknown assumption." What I take away from this is that when talking about a series of events and trying to calculate the probability of them happening, it's really complicated, and different methods are constantly debated in statistics. And that's the reason why a lot of times statistics are thrown out in actual court, because they can be misleading and lead to false convictions off of faulty statistics, even on accident. Probability is extremely complicated, and there are tens of thousands of things that you have to take into account when coming up with an accurate representation of probability, especially on a non-random sample. Although the analysis done by the expert shows that the odds are much lower than the odds that the mods presented, this was done in about a week, and I'm sure that there's a lot of other ways that the data can be interpreted and corrected to make it even more accurate. The expert even mentioned at the end of the document that there are possible corrections that can be applied that would reasonably bring the number down to 1 in a million or even lower. As much as I would love to debate math and statistics for the next 2 years, I'd rather just say, hey, here's what an expert said, take it as you will. On top of everything I've said so far, numbers can be really misleading. As an example, when you create a Minecraft world, that world has a random number created with it, the seed. That random number determines how your Minecraft world looks. That means that each different Minecraft world you've created had a 1 in 281 trillion chance of being that world. It gets even crazier when you start to combine the odds together. If you created 2 Minecraft worlds, the odds of you getting the first world and then the second world are so low that you cannot even calculate them on 99% of calculators. Yet, you obviously did get those 2 worlds in a row. No one can tell you otherwise. But again, that's misleading. But it's still true. Each individual seed has no significant importance, and you are going to get a Minecraft world no matter what. So it's...
Wait. I mean, I guess his entire argument literally is, no, I'm just built differently. Like, so of course the argument is still going to be, no, you don't understand. You're nitpicking, you're biased. I'm Bill Dipperly. Like, you did not understand that my name is William Dipperly, son of William Dipperly. I'm Bill Dipperly. So no matter what he says, ultimately, it's still going to end with that reality.
It's actually not that significant, but the way that I phrased it made it seem significant because of how rare it is. Another different way that odds can be misleading is with the lottery. The odds of you winning the lottery may be 1 in 100 million, but with 100 million people buying lottery tickets, someone probably won. And surprisingly, there's actually far more players that play Minecraft than that play the lottery. You can compare this directly to Minecraft speedrunning, because with 100 million people playing Minecraft, tens of millions of people doing millions of piglin trades, someone will be the luckiest player in Minecraft, and someone will be the unluckiest player in Minecraft.
Wait, is he trying to say he's the luckiest player in Minecraft? What the fuck? He's literally trying to say, dude. It's like, come on, you know, billions of people participate in the lottery at some point in their lives. I am one of those billions of people, and fuck it. I'm one of the luckiest people on the planet. That's why I won the lottery 6 times in a row. I don't get what the problem is. I'm literally the luckiest son of a bitch on the planet, dude. What the fuck?
Might be you. Who knows? But the chances are that there are probably thousands of players that have experienced 1 in 100 million or more piglin trading luck without even realizing it. So now that we've established that numbers can be misleading and talked about where the mods went wrong with their analysis according to a statistical expert, I want to move a little bit off the numbers. Let's talk a little bit about the video. In Geosquare's video, he says this.
We asked Dream for his mods folder specifically so we could check for any modification, but he was unable to provide any evidence since he says he deletes the contents of his mods folder pretty regularly.
That obviously makes me seem very suspicious, except for the fact that I didn't ever say that. I provided the mods with every file they ever asked for, and I never said that I regularly delete the contents of my mod folder. Actually, the verification team was disorganized and never even asked me anything involving my mod folder until 10 days after the investigation started. They asked me if I had changed it since then, and I said of course, because almost everyone changes their mods depending on what version they're using. They asked me for a list of the mods I used, and I provided a list. I did mention at another time that I had deleted specifically my 1.16 mod config folder because I didn't plan on speedrunning 1.16 anymore, but it was completely unrelated, and it was after the mods had already said that they didn't need the folder, and that a list of the mods would suffice. Geosquare admitted this mistake and added a small correction in the description, but I feel like that was a much bigger mistake than he made it out to be. How many people actually would have read the description and seen this correction? At this
I misinterpreted what Dream said while writing the script. Apparently, he does not delete mod folders regularly. What he had were multiple mod profiles.
a much bigger mistake than he made it out to be.
Wait, but he still ultimately deleted his mod folders, right? So what is the rest of the fucking text? I need to know what the rest of the text was. Wait, someone send me the original. Or changed it, sorry. No, he didn't. Why are you so biased in this? If I'm coming across as biased, it's literally because I don't fully understand what he's saying. I thought he just said he deleted
already
it.
said I didn't plan on speedrunning.
Oh, he said he deleted his 116 runs submod folder, which was empty and unused.
That he tampered.
Holy shit, this fucking analysis is already, his counter is already at the same number nearly. You're nitpicking? I mean, dude, he's literally making a, this is all semantics argument. I don't know what you want me to fucking... Like, he's nitpicking and saying that, no, your argument is nitpicking. It's fucking Minecraft. This is Hassan's least biased take ever. Yeah, like, if you guys think I have a dog in this fight, you're out of your fucking mind. You understand? You're completely out of your mind. This is an issue that I know very little about, and I'm just going some off of Fifi's and some off of, like, what the defense looks like. You come off as knowing nothing about this controversy. Yes, because I have had sex at some point in time in my life. Okay? With your mom, but also with other women as well. So, yes, I don't really know that much about what's going on with this. I'm just trying to fucking comprehend it. What's the new number on the bottom right of your screen? Oh, it's my heart rate monitor. No, we watched the original accusation. Bitch, I don't even know how to fucking look at, like, the actual description of what he was saying. Like, where is it? Dislike ratio is climbing up. Click to show more to see the description. Yeah, I don't even know how to look. Oh, here it is. Lumen is actually in the 82.5 percentile, not 91st, as pointed out by Do the Upgrade on Reddit. This does not change the ultimate conclusions, although the error should have been caught. Unfortunately, we didn't place as much time on the meaningless example verification as we should have. Update 2.10.40. I misinterpreted what Dream said while writing the script. Apparently, he does not delete mod folders regularly. What he had were multiple mod profiles, and during the investigation, he ended up deleting his specific 116 speedrun profile because he was frustrated with the investigation. Source Dream. Wait, why did he cut it off? Wait.
Running 1.16 anymore, but it was completely unrelated, and it was after the mods had already said that they didn't need the folder, and that a list of the mods would suffice. Geosquare admitted this mistake and added a small correction in the
But there's more to it than, why did he crop that out? Is that part a lie? Because he was frustrated with the investigation? Wait. Dream has no real understanding of the statistics he's trying to explain. He's so poorly communicating complex topics to his audiences that are generally ignorant of the complex topics he's failing to properly explain. I know this sent this message already, but the point is that the communication sucks between the people that are involved in these videos, and it's not really important enough for actual experts to verify the data and reach a consensus on whether or not he cheated. Wait, why doesn't he just... Well, I mean, he admits that he fucking deleted it, and he admits that he deleted it off of a misunderstanding, or he says he deleted it off of a misunderstanding, but then he crops the part where this dude is saying that he like deleted it because he was frustrated with the investigation.
description. But I feel like that was a much bigger mistake than he made it out to be. How many people actually would have read the description and seen this correction? At this point, millions of people had already heard this mistake and were unlikely to see this very small correction. And a lot of people hung on to that as me destroying evidence and will never hear this response. So I decided to ask one of the official speedrun mods to come on my video and clarify. This is Wills, one of the official speedrun moderators.
As a moderator who has done 99% of the communication between Dream, I can confirm there's absolutely no hesitation to provide us what was needed. And Dream was never uncooperative during the investigation process as far as we know.
So past that, there's really
That dude sounds exactly what I assumed a Minecraft speedrun moderator would sound like.
really only three major ways that you can modify your Minecraft to increase your luck. You can do it with a data pack, you can do it with a mod, and you can do it by editing your version's jar file. Shortly after my stream ended the day that I had my good run, I actually uploaded my world file to Google Drive, almost immediately. You can see when it was uploaded, and you can see when any of the files within it were edited. This is all in the metadata of the file. This folder contains the data packs folder and also contains the startup logs that show what mods are loaded. Within the data packs folder, you can confirm that there's no data packs and that no data packs were deleted because it was not modified after the world was created. You can also see in the startup logs that the only 2 mods loaded were allowed mods and that there were no custom mods loaded. I don't expect you to trust me on this blindly, so I actually put the link and a tutorial to download it and how to see it for yourself in the description. On top of that, I was also able to upload my jar file that has been untouched, both with modification dates showing that they were not changed or deleted after the run. Now, the mods never asked me for this file, so I only uploaded it recently, but the modification dates are still there. With this, it can be shown that I almost definitely did not modify the game in any of the ways that were speculated. Although, of course, it's never impossible and you can always find a way to do something if you want to, the most obvious ways to do this were those. So, the first thing that I want to say before going into more specific subjects is to please not send hate to anyone involved. I already apologized on Twitter because I had said some rude things to the mods after the video was released, and I really don't want to send hate to anybody. I responded incredibly immaturely at first because I was angry, and I really do regret my response, but I would think that the average person being falsely publicly accused might react in a similar way. I don't know. I'm very...
Oh, he's such a nice guy, dude. I mean, yeah, he's such a nice guy. Yeah, is what his simps will say as they fucking try to fucking find the IP addresses of every single person that is in the speedrun moderation community, like they're fucking Trump fans who are trying to track down and hunt Dominion voter software developers. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Competitive, so being called a cheater just really set me off at first. But now that that's out of the way, in the video, they used the logs that I mentioned before to show that I had Fabric API loaded, but they didn't mention that it showed that nothing else was loaded. They also alluded to the fact that I'm suspicious because I used Fabric, a mod loader. But Fabric is used by more than half of all of the top runners on the leaderboard. And actually, I would have much preferred using Optifine, where you can't use mods. And I did, until they banned Optifine from speedruns and told people to use Fabric instead. So I switched to Fabric because I had to, and then I was called suspicious because of it. You can actually tell that I would have preferred to stay on Optifine because I ran 1.15 live shortly after these runs, where you can actually use Optifine, and I was using Optifine, not Fabric. Matter of fact, in one
Dude, my guy goes, the irony of, wait, where is it? The irony of talking about the